All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for coming. We are in our third day. We've hit so far a set focusing on always core, but back. And then yesterday we hit up the legs. So today we've got our chest and triceps coming at us. So I have a set of 20s. I'm going to go just a little lighter than I have been for chest, 10s, and a set of threes. So that's kind of what I'm going to be using today, and we'll go from there. So let's get some warm up going. Since we're going to be hitting the chest and triceps, let's get our arms and back and everything else kind of warmed up and moved around. So take one arm and just swing it up and over, and then let it come back down, over, come back down. Get nice extension through the side as your arm comes up. You got it. 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll hit up that other side. Reach. Kind of crazy to see how each side is a little different. Keeping that core strong. Always wrapping it, tucking it in, holding it steady. That low back needs it. And never let it go. All right, one more. Okay, and then we're going to open our arms wide, just kind of bounce. The thumbs are up. Lift the chest, and then just let those arms kind of bounce behind. Now flip your thumbs under. Keep that chest up, keep bouncing. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Perfect. All right, and then bring your arms all the way up, and then let's hinge over those legs. Give your legs a little bounce as well. Bend one knee and then the other. And then let's go down onto our hands and knees. Go through some cat-cow. Spread your fingertips nice and wide. Knees are right underneath your hips. Inhale, push your chest forward. And then really take the opportunity to find a lot of core flexion when you round. Because you're exhaling, breathing everything out, then you can contract a lot through the core. We'll hit up 5 of these. So here's 2. You can go at the pace of your own breath. Tighten in deep, deep, deep. Really work to get that traction between hands and knees. 4 and 5. All right, let's take big hinges side to side. So level off your back and let your hips rock to the left and rock to the right. So for our core focus today, always starting off with core through this series, we are going to hit up our 6-minute plank. It's been a while since we've done that one. In the last series, we were doing 8-minute sets, which went well, but I actually think the way that I run the 6 minutes is a little more difficult just in terms of where you get that heat. Going back to the same side a couple times adds up fast. All right, spread your hands way far out in front, curl the toes under. We'll get a nice down dog. Pedal the feet so that you can get a little more into the hamstring and the calf, one leg and the other. Go ahead and shake your head left and right and then up and down. Just release everything through that neck. Slide the shoulders down. All right. And then drop onto your knees. Let's hinge back, hit our child's pose. So if you are not a planker, or if at any point you need to kind of switch it up, that's totally fine. For the 6-minute round, you can switch back and forth between bird dogs. So you'd be on your hands and knees. While we're holding, you would set up on one side. So we're going to set up with 2 minutes in the front, and you would basically hold 1 minute on one side and then 1 minute on the other. When we rotate to a side, if you're able to go into a supported side plank here, that would be great. Otherwise, you'll stay hands and knees, and you're going to crunch your right shoulder to the right hip, trying to get into your oblique. All right, so here we go. Let's get going. 2 minutes in the front. Ready, set, and go. Elbows down. Make sure that your shoulder heads are just a little up, above, or past, in front of that elbow crease. And then you want to try to find traction between your elbows and toes. So flexion in through the back. When you push into your forearms, your back will kind of lift a little, and that's good. We want our back to take more of the support than our shoulders. But obviously, really, what we're really here for is that core, the torso and trunk. So think about the crown of the head pushing away from the body, the neck staying relaxed. Find that push into the elbows as you pull back toward your toes. Find your back to kind of flex underneath your rib cage. And then every time that you exhale, feel a little extra deep grab. If you're in a bird dog, there's 1 minute. So now you're going to switch to the other side and hold. And for those of us in our side plank, or in our regular plank, just hanging out here. From here, we'll move into our side plank. We have 45 seconds left. So feel like your hips lift a teeny bit and then tuck under. So the front of the belly is pulling back toward the low back. Your glutes are gripping. Your thighs are grabbing. Try to push your heels back behind you. We have just under 30 seconds left. And we want to try to find so much flexion that this is tough. We've been doing planks a while. Figure out how to make it a little tougher. It's always that own self-flexion that you can create. 5 seconds, and then we're going to roll to one side. So go ahead and turn one side. So we're going to hang out in our side plank only 30 seconds, and then we'll be back into the front. Lift up through the chest. Try to check in and notice if your shoulders are stacking and your hips. So mine probably rolls back, forward sometimes. Always something to check in on. We need that core for proper function and health throughout the back. Okay, roll back to center. Hold center. Just 30 seconds here. And if you're in your bird dog, just hold that one side again. Should be feeling a little bit tougher in your middle plank. 8 seconds, and then we're going to go back to the same side that we just came from. Ready and turn. Here we go. We just hit 3 minutes, so we're halfway through. So drive those hips up. Should feel a little more heat in that lower side oblique. But don't forget to contract around the front of the core as well. 8 seconds, and then we're going to go back to center. 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Hold your center. Watch your hips. Make sure they're not starting to poke up. So now we should feel that one side a little bit stronger, a little more heated. So I was rolling to my left side. Feel that left side now in my front plank. Way more. Okay, 5 seconds, and we're going to hit our second side plank. Ready, and go. Turn and hold. Lift up nice and high. Same thing as our first side. Stay strong through the back. The muscle behind your armpit should help support your side so that you're not putting pressure into your shoulder. 8 seconds. We're going to go back to the front. Ready and turn. Try to keep that breathing nice and deep and even. Find those flexions. Make sure your hips aren't sagging or poking up. Keep finding that flexion, especially through the front. 5 seconds. We're going to go to that second time, second side. And go. Same side you just came from. Lift up nice and high. Still envision that you're lengthening through the spine, creating space through each disc. 10 seconds left. And then we have our last front plank. Contract and tighten deeper. And turn. All right, last 30 seconds. And then we made it to our 6-minute marker. Contract, flex, hold, dig deep. We need this core for everything else that we do. Even just walking and sitting helps us not have poor posture. Keeps the hips and back happy. 3, 2, and 1. Well done, well done. Drop onto those knees, hinge back. You're going to take a little child's pose. Okay, next up, we are going to hit 5 burpees. If you don't do burpees, don't freak out. I'll show you something else that you can do. We're just going to hit 5 because I really want to focus on our form and making sure that we do these properly. Burpees are not for everyone, but they can be super helpful and effective if not overdone to help keep that core strong, build your triceps and back, and of course your conditioning and stamina. So what we're going to do is take your stand, set your hands on your mat where you're going to want to end up landing. Then you have 2 options. You can jump back or you can walk back. Okay, and eventually what we want to end up doing is dropping down into our push-up position. But elbows are going to be super close to the body. So your knees will stay up off the ground. Of course, if you need to drop onto the knees, that's fine. Your hips tuck under, and then you either walk in or jump in, and then we're going to go again. All right? So take it whatever pace you want, nice and slow. You can also just plant your hands, then nice and deep, and then reach up or reach and jump. But focus while you're doing all that on the core. So the biggest thing that I want you to think about with a burpee, core and the back right behind your armpits. All right, so we're just going to do 5. Plant those hands, belly strong. As you jump back, you catch your push-up, jump in or step in, and reach. We won't even worry about jumping overhead or on our stance yet. 2, spread those fingers wide. 3, feel that core contract. 4, strong plank position as you drop and lift. 5, yay. Okay, grab your weights, have your set. We're going to run through a quick upper body set, 3 sets, 10 reps each. And if you can, we're going to try to keep our glutes up in a glute bridge for the whole round. So we're going to do a chest press. So your elbows will come wide. Press your hands right up over the chest. Then we're going to turn and hit a tricep press. So your elbows are going to drive in deep, just like we just did for our burpees. And then we're going to do a skull crusher. So you'll get rid of one weight, turn the other one, and then you'll bend your elbows so that the weight comes right to the hairline. All right, so we're going to go 3 in a row, 10 each, and we're going to try to keep our butt up the whole time. If you want to keep your hips on the ground, of course, that's totally fine, but keep the core engaged no matter what. Also, something to think about in your glute bridge, find your pelvis to be in neutral. So a lot of times I see overarching in the back, and that's just going to put a lot of pressure on your low back. It makes it so that you don't need to control the core and that your glutes get a break. So we want to get the glutes in there. We want to get the core, strong wrists. All right, here we go. Number 1, elbows wide, press up. So focus where you want to feel the work. So we want to be in the chest right now. Elbows open wide, wrists are right over the elbows. I want us to focus our form and function. The whole idea of this series is to really check in, especially in our weightlifting segments. 9, and 10. Turn your hands, the palms face, wrists stay strong, and then they land over elbows at the bottom of the press. So I want us in our weighted sets to really focus on what you're feeling, both directions of the move. Connect your mind to muscle. Get the work where you want it. Hold the core strong. 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, get rid of one dumbbell, and then we're going to shift to the other. Squeeze your elbows in so that they're right on top of your shoulders, and then be in control of the drop of the weight right to the hairline. So here, make sure that the elbows stay stacked right on top of the shoulders and that you're in control of that drop and lift. 5. Stay out of your neck, and you do that by grabbing in through the back. So we want to work to bring awareness to the back. That's kind of why I started our series with the first day, focusing there. We need to be able to find our back muscles and core muscles to help facilitate everything else. 9 and 10. Okay. Set 2. Chest press. Here we go. Strong wrists. Elbows open wide. Build the muscle. That's what we're here for. 7, 8, still strong through that abdomen, and 10. Twist your hands, elbows drop, and press. Brace through the back. 3, you should feel those triceps. 7, try to keep your shoulder heads rolled back. 9, that's just the proper positioning for them anyway. Get rid of 1. So the shoulders are going to want to try and roll forward. And we want to keep them back and down. Or in skull crushers, bring that weight right to your forehead. Check in with those elbows. Keep the elbows pinched in like you're pinching a beach ball between them. 7, 8, as you fatigue, try not to rush. 9, instead, be very proud of the fact, there's 10, that you are heated up, things are shaking, you have to focus, that it's tough. All right, here we go. Bring it on. There's 1, chest press. 2, 4, remember we're pressing with the chest, right over the chest. So those weights are going to want to start creeping back toward the shoulders, but watch it, keep it right over that chest. 9, 10. All right, turn those wrists, elbows squeeze tight. 3, 4, 6, 8, check in with your core. 9, 10. Whew. All right, skull crushers. The last little bit. My legs are shaking pretty good. That's awesome. 1, Belly stays strong. 2, 3. Focus the triceps. Triceps are the back side of that upper arm. See how you feel the muscle on the concentric part where you're contracting the muscle, and then eccentric where you're lengthening, right there. Here's 7. Upper arm stays still. 8, check in with those elbows. Keep them from flaring out. 9, 10. Whew. Well done. Drop those hips. Grab your knees in. Low back, little break. Okay. Between now and our last little set, we're going to hit up 5 more burpees. So again, you can find whatever kind of rendition that you want with it. But remember, regardless, find your core. Try to push your heart rate a little. So even if you're just leaning and reaching, get some heart rate or some big, heavy breaths going. And that's going to help build. Okay, plant those hands, elbows squeeze tight. Ooh, triceps are a little tighter this time, little more tighter. 2, focus the core. 3, 4, work on keeping that plank position. 5. All right, well done, well done. Okay, moving on. We are going to do lighter set, still get our chest and then our triceps. So we're going to hit up good old-fashioned push-ups. If a push-up doesn't work for you, at least on the floor, you can use the wall or a table or chair to elevate, like a box. This table is a lot higher. A wall is always fantastic. Just it makes it so that there's less body weight on those arms. Otherwise, on the floor, we're going to hit up our plank position, hands a little bit wider than normal. And I would rather you be on your toes than your knees, unless that's just the only way that works well for your wrist. The reason I like you to start on your toes, even if the range isn't far, is because it'll just make it so that it's easier to stay off the knees. It's really tough to transition from a knee push-up to a toe push-up if that's kind of how you've been doing from the beginning. All right, so join me in a plank position, or you can hit the wall. And then what I want you to do is just bend your elbows as much as you can, chest drops toward the ground, and then press up. There's your push-up. Keep the belly strong. So even if you just drop little, that's fine. Here's 4. We're going to go to 10. 6. Ooh, I'm tired from all those chest presses. 8, 9, and 10. All right, so even my range was a little less than desirable, but we're feeling it. Chest and those shoulders. That's what matters. Okay, grab your lighter set of weights. We're going to hit up a kickback, tricep kickback. So back into those triceps. Grab the belly, hinge forward. You want your back to be really nice and flat. So just like we hit up our first day, find your hip creases, stick your butt out while keeping the pelvis neutral, right? So feel like you have, if you were to have a broom handle along your spine, from your head, down your back, and then tailbone, that you would be able to keep it flat, that broom handle flat on the back, as opposed to losing your low back and having too much of an arch there. We really need to keep the pelvis neutral. So as we hinge forward, the pelvis still goes and moves with the shoulders and doesn't get too far. Belly strong, elbows come up, and then kick straight back. Hold that core, hold the back. Here's 3. We're going to go to 10. 5, watch your drop. You get a lot of work here if you can be in control of the drop. 8. See if you can get that arm to parallel at the top. And here's 10. Perfect. Okay. This one, little small but mighty set here. Grab baby weights, or you can even go body weight. We're going to be on our belly on the ground. Your toes stay on the floor, but the quads are strong. So flex your legs and grab your core and glutes. So you need your glutes nice and strong to protect your low back. Tuck your chin, squeeze your shoulder blades together. So by pulling the shoulder blades together, that is how you're going to get the lift and keep the work out of the low back also. Okay, your palms face the ground. Just pulse 10 times, straight arms, squeezing through the back with your palms facing. So you should feel a little in the back and then a lot in the triceps. Okay, and now flip your hands the other way so they're pointing toward the sky. 10, 9, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Take a little second. Go back to those push-ups. They were tough. That's good. You need to find that position, that point, whatever it is, makes things a little bit more difficult, challenges us, push us a little further. Okay, set up your plank position and then hit your push-ups. Push-ups are a moving plank. 4, 5, so contract deep through the core. 10. Woo. All right, back to our kickbacks. Roll those shoulders back and down. Remember your hinge. Belly firm, long back, stick the hips, but be in control of that core. Elbows are up, kick back, and drop with control. 2, 3. Make sure you're not finding any tension in the neck. You got it, you got it. 7, 8, 10. Awesome. Okay, back to those endurance pulses. We're getting there, friends. All right, toes push into the ground, strong legs, flex your booty. Feel how when you flex your glutes, tailbone pulls under towards your heels, and then you can feel that protection happen in the low back. And then even though you're laying on your belly, flex and contract it. Here we go. 1, 2. Palms are facing the ground. 8, 9, 10. Flip. 1, 2. 8, 9, 10. All right. Last set. Here we go. Push-ups. Spread those fingertips wide. Remember, we want to push through our palm evenly. So a lot of times, ready, set, go. A lot of times we end up pushing into the outer edge of the wrist on that pinky side. We want to try to push evenly. Stay firm between your thumb and first finger. All right, I got 3 left. Feels like I haven't done push-ups forever. All right, here we go. Kickbacks. Belly strong. Find your hinge. Elbows up and go. 5. Find that foundation of the legs. 9, 10. All right. Then our endurance pulse. Push into the toes. Tailbone tucks. Flex your glutes. Ready? Palms down. Go. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Other direction. 8, 9, 10. Okay. Slide back. Stretch through those arms. And if you can't guess, we're going to get 5 more burpees. So this time, I kind of have a feeling I'm going to need to hit my knees and quads coming up, but that's good. We can learn how to do it properly. So the biggest deal when you hit your knees is just to watch that tendency for the body to want to worm its way up so that you don't lose your low back and keep your core solid. Make sure that tailbone stays pulled down toward your heels. All right, here we go. Plant the hands, drop down. Everything still comes up together from hips and shoulders. 2, 3, elbows squeeze tight. 4, 5. Woo, nice job. So for me, let's stay facing the ground. For me, for burpees, if I am super concerned about speed, going really fast, and I've watched a lot of other people do this, you lose that core flexion and it ends up being just kind of worming and contorting yourself up and down. So you want to really watch to get away from that. Take your time. Don't worry about how long it takes you. Focus on your form. If you can get those elbows in, get that full drop and push, really helps build those back muscles. Feels awesome. Okay, put your knees together over on the right side of your mat, and then sit your hips back on your heels and reach both hands to the left. And then just lean your hips out to the right. You should feel some stretch behind your shoulder blade, along that tricep, and through the lat in the back. Okay, other side. Knees over to the left, and your hands to the right. Let your hips kind of shift to the left. Check in when you're stretching as well. Don't let it be a passive stretch, but really push into it. Find that health and place. Okay, knees are going to be wide, big toes together. Sit all the way back on those heels. Put your hands together in front of you, straight arms. So pull your thumbs behind your neck. So keep reaching your fingertips down the back. See if you can get your forehead on the ground. And then reach your elbows away from you toward the front of your mat. You should feel those triceps stretching. Perfect. Okay, let's get into that chest a little bit. So put your right arm out away from you and then just drop your shoulder toward the ground. So my butt's in the air, palm on the ground, and then just drop the front of that shoulder head and your bicep toward the ground. Your left hand is on the ground, kind of supporting on that side. Perfect. Okay, push into the left hand. You're going to bring that right arm straight up. We're going to go into a thread the needle. So twist here. Try to keep that pelvis square, low back stable, and then tuck your right arm under. So now the right hand is facing the sky. The palm is up, and you're going to push your body to the right. So hopefully you can get that right shoulder head, the outside of the shoulder, pushed into the ground. All right, press up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So now you're going to just extend that left arm straight out away from you. Butt's in the air. Kind of push yourself over with your right arm. Make little adjustments. So hinge your hips forward, pull them back, twist them around. Find that spot that feels good on your extended shoulder, chest. Okay, push it up, twist to the left. Oh, and then tuck that arm under. Reach it through. Get that stretch through the outer edge of the shoulder. Kind of push yourself over. Again, find those little adjustments. Get your best stretch. All right, bring it back. Plant your hands, or if you prefer, you can stay on your elbows and then just pull the chest through. So elbows squeeze in tight, open the elbows forward, and your triceps squeeze in. My triceps are shaking. Open that chest, get that lengthening through the belly. Lean your right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. And then let's flip over. We're going to hit our everyday stretch that we have for this series. Toes are up if you need. Feel free to sit on a pillow or a rolled up towel is perfect. But you want to get that lift up out of the pelvis, and we want to square that pelvis off. So make sure it's not winking back behind you. Lift your arms up nice and high. So you still need your core here just a little. And then exhale, reach yourself forward as far as they'll go, as far as your hands will go. Let them rest wherever. It's fine if you're not this close. Just try to reach. Some of us, we're just trying to get our knees onto the ground. So I know a lot of times we're so tight in the hamstrings and behind the knee, it's hard to just even get the legs flat on the ground. So just find whatever stretch feels good for you. And then let's take 3 deep breaths. And 3. All right. Great work. Everybody did fantastic. And I'll see you back for more very, very soon.